Welcome to Tarantula Beast. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to be going over how to take care of a Mexican red rump tarantula. Let's get on with it. The Mexican red rump, or Tliltocatl vagans, is found in Mexico, including the Yucatan Peninsula. It is also found in Belize, Guatemala, and El Salvador. There is also a small invasive population in Florida, likely from escaped pets or people that just didn't want their pets anymore and release them into the wild. They live in tropical shrublands, they live in grasslands, dry and semi-arid forests, and also agricultural areas. This species experiences a moderate to fast growth rate, with the adult size being a 6-inch leg span. The females live a lot longer than the males. Their lifespan is about 25 years, while the males only live to around 5 to 8 years, usually dying a year or two after sexual maturity. This is a great beginner species that is widely available, so if you're looking to get your first tarantula, this would be a good one to get. In fact, it was our first tarantula in the collection. And it is a New World terrestrial species that is an opportunistic burrower. Our girl digs quite a lot. Like, she's dug some really big tunnels in her burrow. And this species is usually docile, but can also be skittish and prone to kicking urticating hairs, which itch like crazy, and can also throw up a few threat poses. Ours has only thrown up a threat pose twice, and there's been like 2 or 3 occasions of her that I remember kicking urticating hairs, but other than those few occasions, ours is a sweetheart. So since this species is terrestrial, give it an enclosure that has more length and width than it does height, and fill it up at least halfway with substrate, preferably a moisture retaining substrate like reptisoil or cocoa fiber. And the reason you want to fill it at least halfway is, 1, it gives your spider more opportunity to burrow, and 2, it lessens the risk of your tarantula falling and rupturing its abdomen. And one thing I can say, the more substrate you have, the more distance you have between the top of the substrate and the top of the enclosure, the better. Because it, like I said, it lessens the risk of your tarantula falling and rupturing its abdomen, which can be fatal. Also, give it a water dish for humidity. This species likes a more dry climate, 60 to 70% humidity. And to maintain humidity, mist the enclosure at least once or twice a week. You don't need to mist it too much. Make it slightly damp but not swampy. Or you can slightly overflow the water dish occasionally, which I like that method better, especially when it's in pre-molt. And for temperature, it does fine in room temperature. If you're comfortable, your spider is comfortable. And now for feeding, which is the most exciting part about keeping tarantulas, and something that you don't have to do very often. You don't have to do it every day. Even the slings. The slings get pinhead crickets or flightless fruit flies twice a week. The juveniles get small to medium crickets or dubia roaches every 7 to 10 days, depending on the size of the abdomen. And adults get large crickets or dubia roaches every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the size of the abdomen. And a rule of thumb that all of us like to use for feeding your spiders is make sure it is no bigger. Make sure the prey item is no bigger than the size of the tarantula's abdomen. And if the abdomen is bigger than the widest part of the carapace, decrease the feeding frequency and the size of the prey. And if the abdomen is smaller than the carapace, increase the feeding frequency and the size of the prey. So yeah, just to keep a healthy spider. Now my takeaways on the species: wonderful beginner species that is widely available. You can find it basically anywhere. And it has an awesome feeding response and appetite, usually only refusing food when in pre-molt. And the bright red hairs on the abdomen of its velvety black body are what really stick out to me. It is just a gorgeous spider. Especially after a molt. They really, really stick out, especially after a molt. And this girl has molted twice under our care. And I just love seeing her freshly molted. It's just, I mean, even when she's not freshly molted, she's still gorgeous, but like, especially after a molt, it just really sticks out to me. But anyways, that's it for today. And if you want more care guide videos, drop a comment. And if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. I will see y'all later. Peace out.